Good evening, everybody. This is your old Uncle Hunter here. I'm chilling here with Scott. Scott, uh, how are the new digs out in Denver, man? Congratulations. Happy you got moved out there.
Yeah, they're great. Like, chilling in Denver, in the
Now,
Mile High City.
now I know you've only been out there for like what, like a little less than 2 weeks. Is that right?
Yeah, less than 2 weeks, probably. Well, not very long at all.
Now, my question is, are you liking it better than Vegas, like so
Oh
far?
yeah, definitely. It's been like it's rained. We've probably been here 10 days, and it's rained like 6 of those 10 days. And
Really?
the only reason I say that's a good thing is because it was so freaking hot in Vegas. It was ridiculous, and you just had to get out of there for the summer. So good alternative. A little bit of rain, a little bit of sun. Got my fishing game on, and just chilling.
Dude, we like is the fishing game pretty sweet out there?
Yeah, because of all the rain and because spring, all the snow melt, everything's really high right now.
Yeah.
All the rivers and stuff. But the other day, I went out to one of the rivers that runs through town and caught like, I don't know, 4 trout or so. So, I
Dude,
mean,
okay, I haven't fished since I went fishing with my grandpa when I was like 8. We should definitely do some fishing next time
yeah, when you
come
come
up
out
there.
here, we should totally, I'll take you to some spots.
All right, man. Let's make that happen. So everyone, in case you don't you didn't know, so to kind of catch you guys up here, so I'm gonna be moving in October. I'm just moving closer to where I work. But Colin, our other bro, he'll be moving to Seattle in about actually less than 2 weeks. We'll be there in about 12, 13 days. And Scott's in Denver, so uh, once we're all settled, the broadcast will be much more frequent, but it'll be a little erratic for a time being. But we will definitely keep recording, giving you guys awesome free content. You're welcome. So, so
Yeah, it's free. You're welcome.
yeah, exactly. So why would you be mad? But I wanted to talk about this movie here that I caught by accident and don't really.
Yeah, will you please tell me how you stumbled upon this and made me watch it?
Okay, so the way I stumbled upon this is I was kind of just going through. So I don't know, like I know you and Brittany, you guys have Amazon Prime, and I was just kind of going through, and I do this every week because honestly, I'm obsessed. Like I wouldn't even say film's a hobby anymore. I'm like obsessed with film. I watch at least a movie a day. It's kind of ridiculous, but I was kind of going through just what had just come out, and this movie Tracers was one of the movies that had just been put on Amazon. I was like, okay, I'll watch it. Why not? And of course, I paid like $4 for it, which stupid me, because it's on Netflix. Do not pay for this. It's on Netflix for free with your subscription account. And you know, I was kind of curious because look, Taylor Lautner, aka Jacob from Twilight, aka SharkBoy from SharkBoy and Lava Girl,
Always
like
have to include that part.
I do because the thing is, I don't even look. Some people, everyone has done some shit they're not proud of. I mean, everyone forgets that Brad Pitt was in fucking Cool World where he, played against oh god, what's her name? Kim Basinger as a fucking cartoon, like rip off Jessica Rabbit. Like no one ever wants to bring that up. Like Brad Pitt's done some bad shit. Denzel, Lord knows, has done some bad shit. Look up Fallen if you want to see a bad Denzel movie. But every good actor has done bad shit. Taylor Lautner, unfortunately, has those was it 1, 2, 3, 5 Twilight movies that are hanging over his head like a horrible black cloud. So
Now, yeah, I mean, and he might think differently of that because it made him like just
well,
rich out of his mind.
well, he's fucking wrong because those movies are shit. So I don't care. I had to sit through 4 out of the 5 in a row during the what is now infamous Twilight Mania that I took my sisters and their friend Travis to. I've never been so sad to walk up to a ticket counter and be like, yeah, can I get 4 tickets to Twilight Marathon? So yeah, fuck Taylor Lautner for that. I had to buy those tickets. But the thing is, like, as bad as the Twilight movies are, and I think Eclipse is actually pretty. Oh God, I don't even want to say good, but a decent movie. I don't wish any ill will towards the guy. I'm like, hey man, I hope you figure it out. And then he did that movie, what's it called, Abduction, which was really shitty, where he like was the son of like 2 spies. I'm like, this is stupid. So this was kind of like his next at bat. This movie.
That's it's funny you say that. I kind of feel the same way towards Robert Pattinson. Like, you can only do so much with a script, and at some point you have to give people a break in certain regards,
I
and
agree.
not give them a break, but see what else they do. And remember me?
Oh,
I was kind of that's the same deal.
watch
I was
it.
kind of I
Watch
will
it.
I will give him a chance
Oh God.
and see how he plays this out. And that was my mindset going into Tracers.
Well, and one thing I'll say, we forgot about the main star, Kristen Stewart, who, by the way, has done some movies where she's got naked and she has an amazing pair of tits. So good for you, Kristen. You're delightful. I actually think she was in Adventureland, and I actually liked her in that. So I think she's a decent actress. I'd like to see her do more varied stuff. But anyways, so we get into this movie here with SharkBoy. And and look, I had no expectations going in. I didn't watch a trailer. I had no idea what it was about. I just saw Taylor Lautner on the cover, and he's like running. And I'm like, okay, is this gonna be like a rejected script from Mirror's Edge, which was a really good video game? Is that what he's going for? And kinda, it's kind of like Mirror's Edge, but like not with a great script, but. To be honest with you, and I don't know how you felt, but I didn't hate this. Like, I never had this feeling like while I was watching 50 Shades of Grey, where I'm like, oh my god, fucking shoot yourself, scriptwriter. But I was just like, this is kind of dumb. Actually, it's really dumb at points, but I was never upset enough to turn it off, if that makes any sense. So
it makes sense. It definitely makes sense to me. Like, if Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in Premium Rush, this would be like, regular unleaded Rush.
I am so happy you brought that up, because that's what I was thinking the whole time. Like, this is Premium Rush if it had a worse actor in it, and
it was Parkour.
Yeah, and I think that was the thing. Okay, so let's kind of get into the plot a little bit here. So Taylor Lautner, SharkBoy.
Yeah, he shall be known as SharkBoy.
Yeah, and there's no lava girl in this. Sorry, kids, but he plays this guy named Cam, and I think one thing that bugged me right out the gate is that he's involved with like this Chinese mob, and they're like, hey, you owe us this much. And they drag that shit out about why he owes them money, and like when they kind of reveal it, I was like, okay, that's very like I was expecting.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna spoil this because this was really stupid. I have to you have to spoil this part.
Go ahead.
It's like the reason that they gave is because his mom got sick. It's like. And they needed like, 10, 15 grand or whatever.
Grand. Yeah.
And like, the hospital, you don't have to like go seek out like some Chinese mobster to pay the hospital back. That's not how that shit works. Like, It's not even like, it's like, no, you pay the hospital who's not going to come after you. Like, that's not how that shit works. It was just too unbelievable for me to even register. And that's kind of how the whole movie was for me, just kind of flying by the seat of its pants and just kind of like, whatever, let's do as many parkour scenes as possible.
So that was the thing that kind of, I don't want to even say, that actually I will say bugged me about this, was that the parkour that they're doing, like, everyone that they showed before Taylor Lautner seemed like they were like in day 2 of doing parkour, like they had never done it. But then you see Taylor Lautner, and to his credit, because he said that he does his own stunts in his movies, which I can actually respect. He was flipping and and jiving and
Begrudgingly, I agree with you. He actually, that's the silver lining out of this is the stunts in this. And I will give credit where credit's due. They wanted to make that part of the movie shine, and they went out of their way to do that. And in him doing his own stunts I'll give him a one up for that.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll give him props on that. I was like, okay, dude, like you're doing your own stunts, and there's this point where he like tries to like clear a car, and he hit like the side of it, and I was like, shit. I was like, ow, like it made me feel like he actually got hurt. So I'm like, okay, movie, you're kind of building a little bit of an anthology, okay, but this movie, the problem is everyone who he's like behind as far as like they've been doing parkour more, uh, they don't seem like they've been doing it that long, and you can clearly tell it's stuntmen filling in for them. So when you have like your main actor doing all his own stunts, and then everyone who's like a supporting actor isn't doing their own stunts, it really takes away from the movie, in my opinion. And then the girl he falls in love with, who's played by, I'm gonna butcher her last name, but I don't care, Marie Avgeropoulos.
Avgeropoulos, yeah, something Polish, yeah.
She plays Nikki. I will say that girl's fine. Like
I would agree with you.
I had never seen her in anything before, but I was like, damn. Like there's this one point where her and SharkBoy, they get they gets down, and I was like, damn, okay, like she's a tiny little thing, but she had an ass on her. I was like, okay, bravo, movie. You at least gave me you gave me that at least. But I mean, let's just kind of like I don't want to spend too much time on this movie, but like
yeah, please, let's not.
But like, look, I'll just say this: I thought the stunt work, especially Taylor Lautner, I gave him props, man. I thought he actually did a good job with the parkour and the flips and everything that he had to do. I thought that the plot, there's this twist towards the end by involving the guy who kind of handles everyone, who's played by Rafi Gavran, who's named Dylan, who kind of by Adam Rayner, pardon me, who plays Miller, who's kind of the handler for this, for this team of parkourers, and the twist they bring and kind of go like, hey, you have to accept this. I went, no, sorry, movie, I don't accept that, and that's actually a pretty tough pill to swallow, if I'm being completely honest with you. The movie's cliche. It's dumb at several points. Taylor Lautner, SharkBoy, pardon me, but some of the stuff he has to say, it's Lifetime Channel bad at some of the points of the script. It's
so true.
It's pretty unbelievable, and yet every time I was like, oh, here we go, let's give this an F or go fuck yourself, it did little things to keep me from hating it. So I just never was, and I don't know if it's because I just didn't care enough to give it like a go fuck yourself, or if it was because the movie did little things that made me go like, oh, okay, I can kind of grab onto that. The ending of this is such a wow, that came together way too perfectly. Like it's one of those things you kind of look at, you almost tilt your head like a dog. You're like, really? Like, and that's the thing. Like, I can't even really get too much into the ending without spoiling anything. But I will just say it is like Coincidence City. It reminded me of that movie that Justin Timberlake and Ben Affleck did, Runner Runner. How the movie ends with Timberlake, and you're just like, really? You pulled this all together? I'm just like, okay. It's very much the same thing. The plot is very standard, but I just didn't hate it enough to give it a horrible grade. So, look, I paid $4, I think, something, whatever, to rent this. I think if you rent it if you saw this on TV, you'd at least get your money's worth from the stunt work. So, and I'm kind of torn, but I'm gonna give this a C plus, and I'm kind of
Wow.
and I'm kind of reluctant to give it that.
Hey, stick with your guns.
But I thought the stunt work was good enough, and this is such a cop out. But I feel like everyone in it at least tried. But I just felt like that script was just every time the movie did something kind of cool, that script was right there to be the cinder block to drag it down. So C plus. I'm sorry, I've been ranting. Scott, go ahead.
No, not at all. I agree with everything you said there. It's just one of those movies that when you've watched a lot of movies like throughout a few years, you just see right through it and just so easily predictable, cliche, bad script. They think that not violence, but action is going to carry it. And that's what the movie itself doesn't piss me off, but the fact that you know that people are making this kind of movie, like, I don't know, I just saw right through it. I don't know how else to describe it. Just being able to see right through the bowl, and like they just didn't try. Like, if I get the impression that you tried in the movie, I will give you credit for that. But if you don't, and this movie is a prime example of that, then, it's almost just as offensive as something horrible. Like, it was a worse version of Premium Rush to me.
Yeah.
And
that's fair.
They shoved the parkour in your face. Like, it literally takes, like, I don't know, less than a week for SharkBoy's character to like assimilate into this club of criminals, basically, and there's no backstory on any of them. One of the members, I won't say who, does not make it. Spoiler. But you don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't show any sympathy for him just because you tried to highlight him in one scene. Like, that doesn't make me care about him any. It's just the movies that don't try and just kind of skate by on script. Honestly, I don't really hold it against Taylor Lautner. He was kind of a he didn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't do the movie any favors. He didn't like really raise it up, but he worked with what he had to work with, which was a shitty script. And I just
what do you give it, man?
It's just one of those bland movies that should go straight to DVD and stay in Redbox for all eternity. I don't know. And for that, I gave it a D.
That's fair, man.
Premium Rush, like, they made it like kind of cool, and like, it's just they didn't try, and that pisses me off. That's what it is. You don't try, you're gonna piss me off, and they didn't try, and they just put it out there to be like, hey, this is cool, they're doing parkour, you should totally watch it, and it's being rated as such. So, yeah, I would go with a D.
Hey, fair. Dude, you know what's funny is I can't even begrudge you, but I was just sitting there like, and I think part of it was I was expecting just like an absolute train wreck, and I kind of was like,
you're pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, like pleasantly surprised in that way. So I'm not even mad about your score at all, because I think if my expectations had maybe been lower, I would have given it a D. But yeah, I was just like, okay, if you feel like you need to see this, then, like, if I paid matinee for this, which is what I would kind of give like a B minus, I would have been like, okay, that was a waste of my time. So I mean, C+.
Honestly, yeah, if I would have paid anything for this, I would have been angrier, probably. So that's my thoughts on that.
Hey, fair. Hey, can't even begrudge you, sir. So I totally understand. But Hey, boys and girls. Hey, let us know what you thought about this. We would love to hear your thoughts on it. Go ahead and like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple. Subscribe to us on our SoundCloud at The Real Pineapple 775. And let us know what you guys think. We love to hear from you guys. And yeah, we will talk to you guys soon.
Peace.